Let you all open all your three eyes.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukhanam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadusham Tattvamasyaadilakshya Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is spa manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself explaining what is spa manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you due to your chemicals and hormones ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. So I have added the ultimate powerfulness, Turiyatita, in your whole being and doing. Manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, playing with life, playing with being alive. Static matter, dynamic activity, strategic existence, all these three has no boundary. You are one with it. You are alive in everything. Everything listens to you. Everything decides as you want. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, raising your frequency, not work.
Now let's understand who is Paramashiva. Bhagavan himself has beautifully explained the Paramashiva in all of us.
Paramashiva does manifestation, maintenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion and liberation. He resides in his supreme Paramashiva Swarupa as Ajomuha or Adhomuha, unborn, beyond form, formlessness. Is Paramashiva Swarupa. That Paramashiva Swarupa manifests with these 5 faces as Sadashiva, Tatpurusha, Vamadeva, Ahora, Satyojata, Ishana. 5 faces he manifests and does the Panchakritya, Srishti, manifestation, Sthiti, sustenance, Samhara, rejuvenation, Trobhava, pulling out of delusion, Anugraha, liberation. Understand? He does all these 5 jobs. Through these 5 phases. Now listen carefully. Tatpurusham, Vamadevam, Satyojatam, Ahoram, Ishanam. These 5 phases does Panchakrityas. Each phase, each dimension is not just one F-A-C-E phase, P-H-A-S-E phase. It's not just F-A-C-E, P-H-A-S-E. Understand? The creation, not just creation getting created, even sustenance need to be created. Destruction need to be created and pulling out of delusion need to be created. Liberation need to be created. Then creation, manifestation need to be maintained. Maintenance, sthiti itself need to be maintained. Destruction, samhara, the rejuvenation need to be sustained, maintained when it is happening. Pulling out of delusion, Trobhava, need to be maintained when it is happening. And Anugraha, liberation, need to be maintained when it is happening. Those micromilliseconds when it is happening. So understand, Satyojata Murti as 5 phase, Ishana Murti as 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti as 5 phase, Agora Murti has 5 phase, Tatpurusha Murti has 5 phase. So, Tatpurusha Murti as is 5 phase, Agora Murti has is 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti has is 5 phase, Satyojata Murti has is 5 phase, Ishana Murti has his 5 faces. All these 5 Murtis, 5 faces put together is 25 faces of Mahasadashiva.
Bhagavan beautifully explained Paramashiva. Now, who is His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is a reviver of Kailasha, the ancient enlightenment civilization, the great cosmic borderless nation. Is an avatar from and is a supreme pontiff of Hinduism. His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, has made science of our manifestation, yoga, temple-based university for humanity, so which an order of Kailasha led by His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, and Nithyananda order of monks, nuns, Hindu diasporas are working for global peace to give superconscious breakthrough to humanity. Nithyananda Hindu University, world's largest with extended campus in 150 countries, is collecting, organizing, preserving, time capsuling, decoding, spreading and reviving 20 million source books of Hinduism and 64 sacred arts, science like Ayurveda, music, dance, sculpting, astrology, Vastu, and many more. His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Shamalapita Sarvanyapita, ancient apex body of Hinduism and present emperor of Suryavamsa Surangi Swamrajyam. His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, has survived the worst persecution of multiple assassination attempts on person and character by anti-Hindu elements. Beautifully, Bhagavan now explains who is His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Everything is infinitely powerful. You realize your potentiality. You establish yourself in the completion, space of completion. You are God, that's all. All of us are gods. The first experience is that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degree. I realized not only I was able to see, I was able to feel, experience the skin of the stone on rock on which I was sitting and the skin of this body. Both carry me equally. In both I exist equally. Sangha is a place where the tattvas are taught to you, and till it becomes satya, you are supported. Akhadas are basically founded by Sadashiva himself. All is ganas, Shiva ganas. Exactly the word gana means. In your length, breadth, depth, if you are filled by Shiva, you are Shiva gana. All the Shiva ganas formed the first Akhada. Later on, much later, Kapila Muni organizes Mahanirvani Akhada. Then all other Akhadas. Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akhada, the oldest apex body of Hinduism, I welcome every one of you. What I am teaching is from original Agamas Yogapada. The science very clearly declares, Sadashiva is very clear, manifestation of these powers happen when you experience oneness with Sadashiva. When you choose your Guru, the best thing is find a person who is enlightened, experienced, who can play with energy, who can directly transmit experience to you, and who is in tune with the original Shastras, the source of the knowledge. All the revealed scriptures available about the yoga directly by Sadashiva for you to do research, study, practice, question the people who teach.
The science of power manifestation is a gift to the humanity which is authentic, time-tested, scientific and foolproof. Diksha or the initiation from His Divine Holiness Nithyananda Paramashiva makes the science directly an experience for the initiates. The experience is directly authenticated by the Pramanas. The Shastra Pramanas, the eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Veda and Agamas. The Apta Pramanas, the experience of the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nayanamars, Alvars and Siddhars, who are the authority of Hinduism, who have scientists who time-tested and verified the science of power manifestation. The Atma Pramanas are the avatar who land on the planet Earth to give a superconscious breakthrough to humanity. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashiva, this millennium's avatar, personal experience of power manifestation. Shakshi Pramanas are the experience of the millions of disciples, devotees and followers initiated into the science of power manifestation by Bhagavan himself. Pratyaksha Pramanas are the scientific studies which can be measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state.
Powerful cognition
from Bhagavan Satsang. This is from Bhagavad Gita Decoded. When a person is doing work and expecting certain result, the wise person should not disturb him, even though he knows that work should not be done with attachment. At least the person working and not sitting idle, he is in the rajas, aggressive activity, which is better than laziness, tamas. Of course, he needs to be guided from rajas to sattva, a state of calmness, a space of detached action, action without expectation. That is the job of master. We are all governed by our basic nature, attributes, our gunas. The mental setup patterns from previous birth, called vasana, determines what we are, what we do in this birth, and also what happens to us in our future birth. The desires born out of vasana carry their own energy for fulfillment. If you are conscious, you will be available, you will be able to fulfill them. Once fulfilled, these vasana and karma get dissolved. One who reaches this state of completion with desire also realize that he is not the doer. Such a beautiful, powerful cognition. He again, this beautiful space, he says the desire born out of vasana carry their own energy to fulfill. If you are conscious, you will be able to fulfill them. Once the fulfillment of these vasanas and karma gets dissolved, one who reaches the state of completion with the desire also realizes they are not the doer. How beautifully Bhagavan explains about the doer and doing and the object which is getting done, the work which is getting done. It is nothing that we are doing, it is all happening. We are just witnessing the whole thing happening in our presence. Now let's go to the Shastra Pramana.
Is taken from the Shiva Sutra, Sutra 1.19. Shakti Sandhane Sharirotpatihi. Shakti Sandhane Sharirotpatihi.
Bhagavan Paramashiva says, by aiming and fixing the self on Shakti, uniting in oneness with the supreme power, the embodiment of that which is cognized and willed, manifests at once in its length, breadth, depth, time, and space dimension. Bhagavan beautifully says, to understand that you're not the doer, the vasanas that are there, which keeps on pulling the desire, if you start aligning to it, it will just fulfill itself and manifest and complete you. And simply you will understand you are not the doer. If the vasanas that are there, the it has the energy to fulfill itself. Only if we allow it, it'll be happening in us. If we have the borrowed desire, we are always struggling with that. If it's there in our biomemory, simply it will have the intelligence to fulfill it. Everything in the world has the intelligence to do the fulfillment. Bhagavan beautifully says, when you understand that the whole happening is not what you're doing, the stress and conflict starts only if you think you are doing something. The words you utter, the thoughts that you have, and the action that is performed, everything is from the space of Paramashiva manifesting through you. Unconsciously, we keep thinking that we are thinking and we are doing something. If we understand that everything, every breath we take is because Paramashiva is here manifesting through me as I am alive. Everything is Paramashiva and He only exists. Other than Him, there is nothing to exist. We understand the deeper truth when the completion happens with the desire and not get clutched with the outer world. The outer world people is constantly clutched because the vasanas are driving them and they get into more incompletion, which again drives them into more vasanas and they go in vicious cycle. The virtuous cycle that will happen when you start having a master who can guide you into the higher fulfillment. Bhagavan always guides us into the higher reality by asking us to live the powerful cognition, giving us so many spiritual practices to attain the space of oneness with Paramashiva. Again and again, remembrance of Paramashiva, detoxing our body, and simply doing the Mahavakya and unclutch, we can manifest the powers of length, breadth, depth, time, and space. By understanding and shifting the cognition that Paramashiva alone is real and everything he is manifesting through me, now he will manifest all these power through me. When we get the clarity that manifesting the powers is through us continuously happening and we align to the powerful cognitions, it will automatically shift us to manifesting our reality and fulfill us. Bhagavan beautifully says, when the fruit is sour, the bird thinks, oh, I have to reach the golden bird at the top of the tree. And when the fruit is nice, the bird forgets the outer world, the inner world, and goes on having enjoyment with the outer world. Again, the bird, when he eats the sour fruit, then realizes, oh my God, I am still not enlightened. That's why I'm suffering. Again, goes to look at the golden bird. It goes on doing that till finally one day it flies to the golden bird to see that it is just a mirror of herself. So, the whole thing, if you start understanding that everything, the doing, doer, and the job which is getting done, everything is a manifestation of Paramashiva. How we manifest during our dream. Same way we can manifest our life living this reality also when we align to Paramashiva is doing everything. All that we need to is wake up from this dream, simply will manifest all the reality. Now, let's go to the Apta Pramana for making a clay molding without seeing the object. Now Parvati worshipped Shiva in the form of Prithvi Lingam, a lingam made out of sand under the mango tree. The legend has it that the neighbor Begavati river overflowed and threatened to engulf the Shivalinga, and that Parvati or Kamakshi embraced the linga. Shiva, touched by the gesture of materialization in person, and married her. In that context, he referred to the Tharu, the he who melted in her embrace in Tamil. And this is from Vamana Purana, chapter 63. From the Apta Pramana, we'll go to the Atma Pramana.
Like if a lady remains single, she is lady. If she gives birth, she becomes mother. So map is a lady, circuit is mother. That's all. Actually, I am telling you, first 10-20 powers only, you need to, what to say, that kind of a little catching up will be like a little work. Once your brain starts catching up even 10 circuits of these powers, after that initiating all the powers manifestation is just like that. It's like a sipping cup of coffee, that's all. I can just have, you can have coffee with Swamiji and have 20 powers and go. It's nothing more than that. Initially the brain need to capture. So at that time only all this detoxification, parasites cleaning, all that is required. One more powerful thought current. Listen. In the end, I'll tell you why I am sharing various different powerful thought currents. One I share now is you are not negligible, accidental, unwanted, supposed to be aborted, illegitimate child of the cosmos. You are welcomed, respected, revered, celebrated. That's the first thing you need to know. Second, listen to this very intensely. Don't think, oh, I think I already heard this. No. No. Listen. Listen intensely. Liberate your inner space from the impacts and assumptions and quick conclusions of external happening. Listen. If you are meditating, you are Sadashiva. Even if a small problem comes, you give up on your understanding, you are Sadashiva, and tries to analyze and justify. No, I think still that is not yet become reality for me. Listen, you are not Sadashiva just only if you manifest powers. You are Sadashiva because it is truth. I have seen many people try to gamble with their Sadashivahood. I will believe I am Sadashiva if this happens. No. If this does not happen, I don't think this truth works for me. How many of you have gambled like this? Listen, your Sadashiva is not an idea to be gambled. You are Sadashiva because that is the truth. This gambling takes away the stability of your system to manifest powers. When you understand it is truth, whether what I want happens outside or not, I am Sadashiva is the truth, that nothing can be done. I can give 2000 evidences to deny it. That does not mean I can lose my original state. No. You can't lose. With this clarity, with this powerful cognition, I should not even say it is powerful cognition, it is just Satya. With this Satya, when you sit, even if you are playing in your Facebook, you can manifest powers. Because even when you are playing in your Facebook, you are Sadashiva.
Shakshi Pramanas are the initiated disciple devotees all around the world who are manifesting all these powers and are sharing all the testimonials, manifesting the power of the breath, making clay moulding without seeing the object which is asked by the partner.
So the person that asked me to work with her, I was so excited because so far I hadn't seen anyone demonstrate this particular power. So that's going to be the third thing I'm going to mention. I'm going to lead it up to it because when you're working, you want to kind of warm up. So Mayanatma has a few things to display. The first thing this person asked me that I asked her was, there's a famous painter named Nicholas Roerich. He was Russian. He was considered to be enlightened, and he did many, many pictures of what he called Shambhala. So I asked her to draw a painting from Nicholas Roerich. So if you can first show the line, it's an ink drawing of mountains. So she drew this line mountain. Now understand, so far the paints hadn't been out. So it was just a line drawing. He had many paintings. So when she was done, I was looking at it thinking that it was blue. And she kept saying, no, it's pink. The mountains are pink. When we looked at the imagery, we found the piece of artwork that's pink mountains with she drew a round structure that's like a sun. There's actually a figure there. She said, well, actually, there was a figure in the sky above these pink mountains, but I was thinking, she used her logic. She goes, I was thinking, why would there be a figure in the sky? So I made it a sun. So here's the picture. You can see the mountains with the round sun that she saw as a figure. And there's the actual painting. She was going to finish painting it in pink. I just want to, before I go to the next one, I want to give you a picture of what this courtyard's like. So many of you have been only learning through us what it's like to sit in this small space with Swamiji. I can say mostly it's serene, the birds are chirping, Swamiji's talking or reclining. Well, let me tell you, the last 2 days, there's kids and people all over, there's paint everywhere, there's the water cups with the paintbrushes, there's clay, there's charcoal markers, there's pastel markers, there's Play-Doh, there's coconut halves because they've all been cracked open. All of this is all over the courtyard. There's Krista Shila big ones, Krista Shila small ones. It's hardly able to walk because you have to make sure that you don't step on somebody's painting or drawing or clay sculpture that they've done. So this has been the beautiful space of the courtyard the last 2 days. Now let me talk about her next thing. The next thing is Swamiji wanted us to be doing GPS with them. So I wanted to do a local highway. It's called M22. It's locally famous in Michigan. So who would know this highway? It's very small, very scenic route. So I just gave her the picture, I drew the words M22, and I asked her to draw where this was, the location, all of that. So she started and immediately said the word Michigan, which was correct. Then she drew, all of you might know that the uniqueness of Michigan is a mitten shape. She drew the mitten shape, and then she proceeded to draw the root, which is up in the northwest corner along the lake line of Michigan. So we have those two pictures side by side. We can show those. Keep going. Okay, she doesn't have that. Okay, the last one was the one I was most excited about. I'm so passionate about music, and Swamiji said the breath dimension is all about the emotion that comes up with poetry, with art, with music. I kept thinking, surely, if you show, okay, we'll stop and look at this M22, and there's the top part of Michigan, and the root is in red. And you can see she's written the word Michigan, she's drawn the mitten shape, and then she's shown the first part of the root up in the northwest corner. So it's just amazing doing these processes. So then I got to the one I was most excited about. What I wanted to do was give the name of a piece of music that this person wouldn't know, have them look into the Krista Sila, and I didn't know how it would express, because sometimes you have music in your head, sometimes you hear it. So I said, I'm going to put a piece of music down, and I'll just tell you it was Ode to Joy by Beethoven. I want you to hum it. Now imagine if you don't know a piece of music and you start humming, you'll never actually click with the tune if you don't know the tune. So she closed her eyes and she just started humming randomly, just various notes as they were occurring to her. Suddenly I heard, It was the first 6 notes. I said, stop, you've got it. And she just looked at me and like, what? See, how will she know? Because she doesn't know the tune, so how will she know that's the tune? Now what I'll give you is today, we'll do a recording. We'll start working on the music as they hear it and record. I also asked Swamiji about this. He said as long as they're looking into the Krista Sila, looking only into it, they should be able to have an instrument in their hands and actually play a tune. He then said they can take a bow and arrow, and as long as they're looking into the Krista Sila, there should be a mark. Looking into it and drawing the bow, they should be able to hit the mark exactly. So these are so many exciting things we can all be working on, but what are some of the implications? So the last thing I want to tell you is I worked with a different person yesterday, a different balasan, and I said, let's find the location of Malaysian Aircraft 370, because Swamiji's already talked about cardiology. Many kids were working on the Titanic. What if an aircraft is in flight and it's lost? These people will immediately be able to start tracking and finding. So anyway, I asked the balasan, she looked in her Krista Sila, she immediately drew, I think all of us know that Australia government has taken the search and they think it's off Perth. Anyway, she drew Asia, she drew Australia, and then she's like this. Oh, there's a little island right here. It's only the tube part, but the whole tube part is sitting on this island. And I only see a very few amount of people, so it's not like the whole 270 people are on this island. She was very clear about that. So today we're going to work on getting the actual coordinates of the island, bringing in the length dimension, and just imagine again the implications. What Swamiji said after asking these questions, he says, there's only me. And now I'm only training these balasans. And there's so much to be done, and there's so much to be done with this. So all of you have to come, you have to send your kids to the Gurukul. We have to expand this and spread and spread and spread, and look what we can be doing for humanity. So thank you, and looking forward to sharing more.
Pratyaksha Pramana, scientific studies. What can be measured? Measuring the effects of being in enlightenment state. Vedic sciences have always maintained that consciousness is the very substance of space and time. His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Paramahamsa Nithyananda, has clearly defined the existence of 11 dimensions of consciousness. As per his elucidation, space can exist by itself. On the other hand, time can exist only in the presence of space, but can still exist without other dimensions, including the obvious ones, depth, length, and breadth. Source from Avatar Shastra, Chapter 2, Consciousness, page 83. In quantum terms, thought too is energy. Every cell of our body produces thoughts in the form of signals, which may be electrical, chemical, or otherwise. These can be measured in TPS, or thoughts per second. The normal TPS of the average human being can be hundreds of or thousands. Some thoughts are processed consciously, while others are processed unconsciously. A TPS of 0 is the state of Advaita, or enlightenment. Space is made up of strings of potential energy, which are in constant vibration, spanda, leading to the creation of virtual particles. This is a very basis of the Vedic truth of consciousness. In the Avatar Shastra, Swamiji mentions quantum physicist Amit Goswami's article about entanglement between two people. Quantum physicist of Indian origin, Amit Goswami, made two people meditate together. They were separated in two chambers, one person in each. When one person had a light stroked at his eye, it caused the firing of certain frequency in the brain. Remarkably, at the same moment, the other person's brain also fired, even though he never saw the light. This proves that the energies of people intuitively affect each other.
There are two kinds of movement in the world. One kind of movement is maximum speed limit with the speed of light. That's the kind of movement that is allowed in the domain that we call space and time. That's where matter moves, that's where things look diverse. But the other kind of domain is where the speed of communication is infinite. We call it non-local. That's the domain of potentiality. And if there is instant connection in that domain, then do you see, it got to be one. If things are instantly interconnected, that interconnectedness is oneness. That is the oneness that mystics and spiritual teachers talk about. That is the oneness. So simply by recognizing that objects are possibilities, we are looking at a oneness. And then it's just a question of language. Question of language. What should I call this oneness?
Whole brain activation studies were done on Nithyananda Gurukul students. The Bender-Gestalt test assesses the level of whole brain activation, the student's ability to see the big picture and recall the details of it. It is more than an IQ test. It was showing outstanding results on the memory ability of the Gurukul students. It is very unusual for students to remember such a high number of Gestalt forms. Each Gurukul student attended to the test card carefully and persistently transposed the Gestalt form. Remaining calm, cool, and collected, they initially approached each Gestalt form with a keen observation and analysis of the form, and then exhibited a steady perseverance, attending 8-minute details. Source: Avatar Shastra, Chapter 8, Third Eye Awakening, page 177. Charting Future Terrain with Higher Education. This article explores the role of contemplative practices within an emerging interdisciplinary area that are referred to as creativity and consciousness studies. Within the new area, consciousness is studied from an integral perspective that brings together insights from a range of wisdom traditions and modern science. Meditation is presented as an essential first-person modality for investigating consciousness, and formal and non-formal approaches to meditation and delineated to establish important guidelines for the introduction of meditation into an academic setting. The role of first-person experience helps to develop new notions of rigor and interdisciplinary learning that can lead to an expanded educational experience, which can help to develop qualities such as mental clarity, inner calm, insights, compassion, and creativity. The article closes with reflections on the importance of expanding our approach to education in light of the demanding challenges and creative opportunities in today's world. Source: Meditation, Creativity, and Consciousness.
setting up things for breath dimension, doing the clay molding without seeing the picture and then comparing the details. The camera and the timestamp, we need Jnana, clay dough, pen, paper to make a note of what we are going to do. Let us set the camera. Make sure the camera is set up. The power manifestation always gets very interesting, and the Shakti manifesting taken in the camera will be so amazing. Some real manifestation will be captured in the camera. So don't miss capturing in the camera. Download the timestamp on the video. Ensure that the time is shown on the screen very clearly. Make sure the camera is facing you, the clay dough, and the paper, so you are clear what you're doing. There is no video or audio or Bluetooth, nothing available. No books next to you. So you're authentically manifesting the power from third eye, clay molding from third eye. Guidelines to manifest this power: turn on the video, apply the Jnana on your third eye, bring your awareness to your third eye. Please ask them to keep the mold of clay without showing the picture. They are going to show the picture at the end of the process. So just if the partner or Acharya, they will show the picture at the end. Just through third eye, you have to figure out what the picture is and start doing the clay mold. And they will show at the end after you finish it. So make sure you draw the detail and then start molding the detail into a beautiful mold. And if it accurately matches the detail at the end of the process, you're manifesting the powers beautifully. If you've got portion of it right, excellent. Start celebrating those small parts which you are correct. And simply you'll see that you're manifesting all the powers of Paramashiva. Verify authentically all these videos and share with powerful cognition with others, family and friends. Listen to others' experience on this power manifestation.
Power manifestation instructions. Let's sit straight, the head, neck, and back in a straight line, so that beautifully the Kundalini energy raises to the Agnya where the manifestation happens. Usually, our awareness is on Muladhara, Swadhisthana, and Manipuraha, where navel center, your below navel center. Here, bringing the awareness to your third eye and sitting straight will give us amazing possibility of power manifestation. Now let's understand few words that Bhagavan is repeatedly using. Shaktipada, oneness, be unclutched, initiation. So here first we will see in Bhagavan's words what is Shaktipada.
Let me give an introduction about what is Shaktipada process. Please understand. You would have seen or heard about how the chicken sits on the egg and hatches. Of course, in the modern countries, this does not happen. Machine sits on the egg and our egg sits on the machine. In those days, originally when hens and chicken were getting produced on the planet Earth, the hen used to sit on the chicken and hen used to sit on the egg and the chicken will come out of the egg. See, same way, Sadashiva, sitting means the ultimate cosmic energy sitting on the individual soul and making the individual soul into cosmic energy is Shaktipada. Hen sitting on the egg and making the chicken happen, same way. You may think, how come, what is going on here? That hen is only sitting just by the body heat of the hen, the egg is becoming chicken. Because no surgery is done and nothing goes inside. It's only sitting. Same way, it is just sitting. It's only the presence, the Shaktipada, makes the individual soul into cosmic soul.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained Shaktipada, how individual soul becomes cosmic soul. And let's listen to initiation.
You see, let me explain the initiation. Initiation is the process beyond your intellectual understanding. The transmission of lamp happens. Now, you understood something intellectually. There is something which is not understood, which can't be transmitted through the words. That is transmitted. That's what we call initiation. Sometimes I tell people that unless you are initiated, the techniques do not create the result. The reason is you do not grasp completely whatever is expressed through words. Initiation is like it just transmits whatever need to be transmitted beyond logic and beyond words. People ask me why to wear this bracelet or this mala and all those things. This all will remind you. Why bracelet in the hand? It will remind you, before eating, did you meditate? It's a constant reminder. Before eating, let you be reminded, did you do the meditation? That is why this bracelet. That is why this mala. That is why this external things. Sometimes these external things does a big job of reminding you constantly. That is why take the help of external things also, nothing wrong. People ask me, why we can just be spiritual without having external things? If you can, really you are welcome. But I don't think anybody who speaks in that way is successful. I've never seen people becoming successful, avoiding the external things, just having internal things. And it is just a nice way of escaping from yourself.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained initiation. Let's listen to be unclutched. What is to be unclutched?
The thoughts, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Because the gap between two thoughts is too small. The neutral space between the two thoughts is too small. You think all the thoughts are connected and it is in the shape form. It is not. By your very nature, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Between every thought, you experience a neutral space. When you change the gear, whether you go from neutral to 1 or 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 or 4 to whatever gears you may change, but every time you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to the next gear. Even if you want to go from 2 to 3, you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to 3. Same way, between every thought, you experience a neutral space. You experience a neutral space between every thought. Between every thought. That neutral space, that silence is what I call peace or bliss. The peace which exists, the bliss which exists already in you, between every thought, the gap of the thought, the gap between the thoughts, that neutral space is the peace, is the bliss. When you understand you are unconnected, independent, illogical, and unclutched, by your very nature, you will start experiencing the neutral space in you. neutral space which exists in you, you will start living from moment to moment in spontaneity. We need to understand one more thing. This technique of be unclutched, it does miracles in your being, in the body level, or in the mental level, or in the being level. In every level, when you understand the truth, by your very nature, you are unclutched. The tremendous quantum transformation. You take a quantum jump. The transformation happens in quantum, not step by step. Just one jump. You take a quantum jump and experience the truth awakening in you.
The oneness space is the most beautiful space that Bhagavan himself is explaining how we are ferocious. Beyond the tiredness and boredom, we can experience the space of oneness and be unclutched.
Oneness is not imagination. Oneness is not visualization. Oneness is not even just declaration. It is your existence. An idea which is you is oneness. The idea which has become part of your very space, which does not tire you or bore you by the passage of the time, is oneness. Mahadeva says in the Agama, Sadashiva beautifully explains in the Agama, Kala, Yama cannot tire you or bring boredom to you if something becomes your space. Devi achieved the blissful state and union with Mahadeva on Shivaratri day because our space became oneness. Anything which brings tiredness or boredom has not yet become your space. If living in this body brings you tiredness and boredom, you are not going to be living in this body forever. When that becomes too much, you are going to drop it and move ahead. If you want to be in oneness forever, it should become part of your space, means you should become ferocious with you and break this very tiredness and boredom. Only when you deal you with the ferociousness, you break the tiredness and boredom. With that ferociousness, you need to make oneness as your space. Anything stands as an imagination in the length level, visualization in the breadth level, declaration in the depth level. If you open your time with ferociousness, it just sinks into space level. With this ferociousness, the time layer in you opens, and the oneness from imagination to visualization to declaration, it becomes your space, the way of existence.
The most important, Bhagavan says, being unclutched, understanding the Shaktipada, the oneness space, and chanting the Mahavakya. The Mahavakya, the power of the Mahavakya pushes you into the higher states of consciousness. Here Bhagavan himself explains how we can experience the Shaktipada, raised higher consciousness through Mahavakya.
It's one of the very important revelation by Sadashiva. All the electronic equipments work when the electrons are made to vibrate. That happens by the light. When the electricity is supplied, the light particle vibrates, the electronic equipment starts working. Just like that, the spiritual power and the umbilical cord connection, spiritual umbilical cord connection between you and me, it works with sound particle. For example, my integrity with the cosmos, Sadashiva, Mahasadashiva, it reverberates in certain level of frequency. When you are integrated to me, you also start reverberating in the same frequency. If your integrity goes down, that is when you start connecting with me only as a manager or this organization head or your Purvashram father, mother. Your connection with me goes down to the lower level if the integrity gets reduced. I was wondering, what is the way we can bring people to the higher integrity immediately and the feeling connection, so they start manifesting the powers, they start staying in the space of Sadashivatva. Sadashiva revealed a beautiful sound. I can tell you, this is like a password. At any point, if you are not able to bring yourself to oneness, you are a little shaken, disturbed, or for some reason, you are not able to bring yourself to oneness. This is like a password. You type, whether your mind feels connected or not, the energy will start flowing in you beyond the depth dimension. You see, all mind oscillation, restlessness, all mental idea based feeling connected or not feeling connected is only length, breadth, depth level, not in the space level. But this sound will straight infuse energy from the space level. Like for example, if the power goes off, automatically the generator will get switched on and the power supply will be going on. So end result will not be lost. Whether government power supply or the generator power supply, end result will not be stopped. So whenever you feel little that oneness is, you are not catching it, just feed this password. Immediately the oneness will open up and you will start manifesting the powers, energy, and the whole space will shift. It is directly from Sadashiva. It's a beautiful sound. I don't even want to say it's a mantra. It is not even a mantra because there is no meaning in it. You can't derive a meaning for it. It just flashed like a password for all the initiations I am giving. One single password for all the initiations I am giving. And the initiations I gave, I am giving, I will be giving for all that. This is like one password. Don't even repeat like a mantra. Just feed like a password and it will just open up. Your whole being will open up. Listen carefully. It starts with the vibration Om. Listen and then repeat. Om. Very deep. Om. Nithyananda. Nithyananda. Maha Sadashivoham.
So Bhagavan gave beautiful explanation of how you can be in Shaktipada. Visualize Paramashiva who has come down as Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam from Kailasha. Remembering Paramashiva in your third eye. Again and again, bringing your awareness to your third eye simply makes you manifest powers. Absolute unclutching. How Bhagavan said, the neutral zone, nothing ever touches the screen. Like same way, the movie does not touch the screen, whether it is happening in ferocious or any soft, beautiful, nothing touches the screen. Be unclutched like the screen. And to experience the state of Paramashiva, your inner space being completely unclutched. Complete completion, to experience the space of Paramashiva. Inside us, the complete completion happens when we are in tune with Paramashiva. That everything is redundant and irrelevant. The essence of completion is irrelevant. Nothing matters in your life because everything is complete completion. Oneness with Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, in ferocious breaking the boredom and tiredness, just being in the space of oneness with Paramashiva to manifest the powers of Paramashiva. Tyaga as Paramashiva is your only strength, now declaring complete integrity with Bhagavan to experience the being of Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, chanting the Mahavakya raises your frequency, and that is your only strength to manifest any reality. Being in this beautiful space of Paramashiva, you can experience such a beautiful space, state, powers, and becoming the being of Paramashiva, manifesting whatever you want. Now, you'll be manifesting the powers, watching the oneness capsule, and chanting the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. We'll be playing the Mahavakya and the oneness capsule for you to manifest powers. At end of the Mahavakya, you can start with the verification and sharing and causing. Thank you.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest
the powers in all our third eye. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Paramashivam. Nithyananda Paramashivam. Nithyananda Paramashivam. Nithyananda Paramashivam. Nithyananda Paramashivam. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Verification process. Verifying that no video editing is happening or video is not stopped or started during the process. All video should have a timestamp. Video should have a wide angle view so we know what's happening around you. Do not tamper or the drawing or clues, giving pictures. That is completely prohibited. Do not prepare any of the questions that are the pictures that you're going to give them beforehand in front of the manifestor. Do not give everybody the same. If it's a large group, divide them into Nithya and Ananda. You can give one group of one picture, another group another picture at the end anyway to be revealed. Complex, difficult picture for clay molding should be given in advance. So the clay molding happens out of power manifestation, not out of logic. Authentically, the clay mold should match the exact by anyone commonly looking at it and not by interpreting the clay mold how it should be. And it's misinterpreted sometimes. Thank you for manifesting this power.
Beautiful. We are at the end of the power manifestation, but most important part of the power manifestation. Here, we are going to share all that you have manifested with the social media groups. Here we have Sri Kailasha Kotyar manifesting power groups. Thousands of people are part of that. And you can share there, and you can post your powerful cognition and the videos. The link is tinyurl.com/powermanifestation. It is at the left corner of the page. You can click on it and you can post your beautiful experience in the Power Manifestation group. Why sharing and causing is very important part of Power Manifestation. Bhagavan beautifully explains that sharing is pulling us out of delusion and causing is liberating us. We are the ones who need to start experiencing the higher states of reality, how we need to exist. Beautifully, Bhagavan explains when you are sharing with others the ultimate beautiful multidimensional logic, your brain rewires into the higher space of consciousness, the Turyatita state. Again and again, when you experience even a little bit, you share with the world, your experience becomes reality. Same thing when you cause others to come and get initiated for higher reality, you are caused into the higher purpose, the ultimate reality. Bhagavan says extreme causing, extreme power manifestation is extreme causing. So beautifully he explains how our strength is declared on Paramashiva. The power manifestation happens exactly in tune to that. And sharing with the world, continuously reiterating ourselves the experience that we had from the powerful cognition and manifesting the space of Paramashiva, the state of Paramashiva, the beings of Paramashiva, we become Paramashiva. Go on sharing and causing, which is the most important part of how you have experienced your reality. When you go to a temple, we pray and we see that beautiful experience happen in us, and then share with the world that how amazing the temple experience has manifested as your reality. Same way, when you manifest powers, when you share with the world, it becomes more and more the depth cognition of you, and you will be experiencing more powers. Even if you're manifested very small, it does not matter the quantity. Bhagavan says the quality is important. If it is authentic, please go ahead and share with the world. Do not doubt, have self-doubt, self-denial, self-hatred come and block anything. Experience the ultimate in deep seeking and gratitude. Bhagavan manifest in you with a deep prayer, that asking Bhagavan to make this reality as your existential reality. With that, let's end with the Purna Mantra. Thanking Bhagavan for all these great experience. We have come to the end of the Power Manifestation course, and we end with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamadashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam Padaka Arpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you for participating in the Jnana Paddhati, Nithyananda Jnana Paddhati course. Please go ahead and select more power manifestation and every day experience the ultimate reality for yourself. Nithyananda.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham